I don't know how many of you guys are aware, but in Disneyland, actually I think it's Disney Paris, there's one attraction with the theme of ratatouille, where you are basically Remy, and you follow around the kitchen, you dodging all the people trying to murder you, or maybe catch you, a lot of fire, a lot of kitchen craziness. That was a very fun ride, but if you don't know, now you know after watching this episode, because that's basically the kitchen scene was. Sounds like a complaint, but actually I'm not really complaining because that scene was short and fun and silly in the Star Wars way. Comparing to the last episode when we had the biker gang doing the biker chase on the street, this scene is much more reasonable. And I do like this episode a lot more. This is another flashback heavy episode. I was slightly concerned over the first course of the episode that we're only gonna focus on the flashback, but it proves me wrong and I'm very happy about it, because this time the flashback actually means something. First of all, we finally go all the way back to Mandalorian, that one scene when there are footsteps approaching her. Who is it? Well, we all know who it is now, but how did that happen? The whole operation sequence a little bit weird. It just kind of freaks me out a little bit, but I guess that's the effect. It has a similar vibe to the biker gang last episode, but at least this time it's not too long and I can accept it. And then two of them went on a journey of revenge and repayment. You can also basically rename this episode to Fennec Shan saves Boba Fett's ass multiple times. No joke, the whole journey is basically she saving him the whole time, but to be fair, he saved her at first, so I guess it works between them. But that's not the point of this episode. The important part of this episode is actually him talking about what his motivation is, not just for the revenge against the people who killed the Tusken tribe. He talks about why he wants to be his own thing, why he wants to be a crime lord here, why he wants to replace Jabba and Beef Tuna. On top of that, why his experience with the Tusken actually matters for the whole series. How that time changes the way he thinks about his life and where he is in the world. He was a bounty hunter for the most of his life, taking orders from others, doing this, doing that because others want him to do so. And according to him, lots of times he doesn't have the choice to do the thing he doesn't want to do. I'm sure almost dying is one of the reasons that he doesn't want to listen to anyone else's order. But at the same time, staying with the Tuskens and being taken in as one of them shows him a different way of living, how to live as a group and as a tribe, how to be loyal to each other and to themselves. He sees the importance of group work. He sees the importance of unity. That's what he wants to do here at the end of the episode. He wants to combine all the forces here on Tatooine to against a common enemy, the Pike Syndicate. I also found his condition at the end being reasonable, that he only asked them to stay neutral. It makes sense because right now not a lot of people respect him for who he is. Most of them are still trying to see how this new crime lord will act. Will he be more like Jabba, or Beef Tuna, or being his own person? From the last couple episodes, we can see that he is trying very hard to recruit people. He knows that he is not the strongest here, he is weak, and he doesn't have any followers, so he's trying to change that. I'm very glad we get to see more and more Black Chrysanthemum here. He is quite an interesting character if you would say that. I mean, he is cruel and ruthless. Maybe he will be the someone who do the dirty work for Boba Fett. I'm also kinda expecting him to betray Boba Fett, but we'll see. In my opinion, this episode should have been the third episode of the season. Because 1. It clearly indicates Boba Fett's motivation. 2. It clearly indicates that Pike Syndicate is the enemy that we're going for. 3. The third episode is a much better place for these 2 points to stand in an 8th episode season. It explains his action and paves the way for future conflicts. If we take the example of Mandalorian Season 1, it takes episode 1, 2, 3 to start the story arc, 4, 5, 6 to grow the character and the story, and 7 and 8 is a climax and conclusion. Right now, we are at the episode 4 of the season, and we just started the motivation of the season, which is a little bit too late. I don't know how the development is gonna turn out. I sure hope it's not too rushed. But then again, I want to remind any listener here that please keep the criticism reasonable. It is fine to criticize the show, it's not nice to talk shit about it. Criticism is not the reason that you can be rude to any creator. always remember that behind the show, there are so many people working on different aspects of the show. Not just writer, director, actor. People spend months and months creating the set, creating the sound effect, creating every detail you can see on the screen, creating the creatures, the clothes, the hair. All aspects are great. You can be disappointed by any aspect of the show, but it is not okay to rudely discredit all the people behind the scene. And that's it for this episode. This is a much more promising episode, and I'm looking forward to the next step. Please let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!